I think for founders who are not that familiar with the Cayman sort of structure, where it fits into the bigger picture, can you guys maybe give us a little bit of an overview of just Cayman, where it fits in, how that works with the dev team and sort of the founders?
Yeah, definitely. So I think we need to be very clear that there are two distinct aspects to a structure itself. One is, of course, your onshore labs co, or what we term as the development company. That's where your engineers are, where you house your employees, etc. And then, of course, your token issuance structure, which is where we look to Cayman, BVI, some looking to Panama itself. Of course, Cayman BVI has a very strong reputation and history in the space itself. And we often, the key consideration founders should have is the virtual asset service provider regime in Cayman and BVI. I think that's the main thing you have to decide or at least consider whether or not you want to set up your token issuance structure in Cayman and BVI, right? Because if your product actually gets caught within the virtual asset service provider regime, then you would have to get a license in Cayman and or BVI, depending on how your structure is like. Second, I think the Cayman itself, and that's why we're here today, has a very strong reputation in terms of the independent directorship services that you guys provide. I think that creates a very clear dichotomy between the token offshore structure and the labs entity, because there must be clear there should not be any conflict of interest. There must be independence between both sides, and that's the whole point of having a foundation in the first place, right? Because you want to remove control of the founders with regard to the foundation itself, vest control to a certain extent in your token holders and your independent directors. Yeah.
So I think, and the question we get a lot from founders is with that foundation, sort of, how that interacts, the directors, how that's working with the labs company. I mean, normally you've got a services agreement in place, and then you've got the foundation, and then you've got the community. What are some of the questions you get from founders, as you're setting up the structure, what are they sort of concerned about?
Yeah, so I think there are different structures right now. We would commonly place them under three buckets. One is, of course, you vest complete control in your token holders, right? So basically, we'll amend the bylaws, we'll amend the articles of association of the foundation, so as to give token holders the power to vote on proposals that the foundation issues. And then, of course, the independent directors come in because the role of you, for example, is to make sure that those proposals are sound, those proposals are in the furtherance of the best interest of the foundation itself, and there's, of course, it's not tainted by any illegality, for example. Second model is what we term as the council member. So some founders instead choose to set up different councils, for example, Treasury Council, Strategic Council, and the power in which they vest in token holders is the right to vote, replace, and or reappoint those council members, right? And council members can come from a variety of locations, for example, advisors, community members, etc. And instead of token holders voting on proposals, they vote those council members, and council members have the mandate to make decisions. Last, it's a hybrid of both, which I don't think I have to explain. I think a lot of founders, they themselves are not sure which they should go for, right? And ultimately, it's a commercial call. You have to really assess what's the best balance between vesting control in your token holders, how the community is growing itself. Do they have confidence that the community as it is can help chart the growth of the project itself? Or would it be more suitable to have council members elected by the token holders who have the experience and expertise to bring the foundation to a greater height? Yeah.
Yep. No, and I'd say it's been interesting to watch the space. I think a few years ago, everyone was, it's all on-chain, all token holders. We've evolved a little bit, realizing that, a bunch of people on the internet don't always get things done very well.
Yeah,
and it's good to see. I think we advise clients a lot of the time, get the council in place. They're that sort of leading force. They're responsible for this.
Yep.
And then over time, you can identify what you can actually push to the community.
That's correct.
And you sort of learn which decisions they should be making,
Yes.
but which decisions they potentially should not be making.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a protocol a while back where a community member put up a proposal to say this was a lending protocol, decrease collateral, increase return rates. This is going to be great for all of us. For a community member, yes, that's great. But for the protocol, that's not very good.